Sup, Hondo Nation? Lord Ondoku here, and welcome back to another video. Now, this is a video I've wanted to do for a while now, and it's a pitch video for Incredibles 3. To those of you who don't know, Incredibles 3 was announced back at D23 of last year in June. And Brad Bird is set to return for the third installment of the Incredibles franchise, which I'm super excited for because I love seeing the Parr family. And The Incredibles is my number one favorite Pixar series, aside from Toy Story and Monsters Inc. Now, I've did a video regarding why I think Violet should be the protagonist of the third film because it makes sense. Because why not have the third movie focus on the next generation? So here are some things I wish I really want to be in the third film. Now, let's start off with this. Obviously, number one, a time skip. We need a time skip in Incredibles 3. The one thing I want to see is the Parr family and the other characters, like, getting aged up. Like, I'm pretty sure all of us are tired of seeing the Incredibles at the age they were in the first and second film, since the second film takes place is where the first movie ended. So, yes, Violet, Dash, and Jack need to grow up. Like, we need to see them grow up. So, obviously, we all want a time skip. Yes, we definitely need to see them grow up. I want to see the Parr kids grow up. And another thing I want to add is this. Is we can start off the third film's prologue with the government. This was an idea my two coworkers and I, Matthew and my supervisor Jeffrey, we talked about this on the job. Like, we could start the prologue off with the government, how they wanted it, how they did experiments on a certain individual, and he became this, like, mutated super that's been locked away for years. And we start up with that, and then the mutated super starts to twitch. His eye opens, and then we get the Incredibles intro, and then we start up with the Parr family. You know, saving the day, kicking some butt, and this is where things take a dark turn. My friend Matthew said he wants the third Incredibles to be dark. Now, I'm all for the third Incredibles being, dark. I do like dark stories, but should we make it but here's the thing. I do think the third Incredibles should be dark, but not like not like PG-13 or rated R dark. No, we're not going on that territory. So we can make it dark, but we still gotta keep it PG. And another thing my friend Matthew did say, like like Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl should be killed off. Should they be killed off? To me, I disagree with that one. So no, I don't think Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl should be killed off. Neither should Frozone nor Edna. Yeah, I don't want that. And I don't want Rick Decker being killed off either. But who knows? Now, this was another idea Matthew came up with, and I completely agree with it. Like, we can take some inspiration from Captain America Civil War, where the power kids are on each side, like Violet being the one siding with the government, and Jack Jack, him being like the rebellious one, and not siding with the government, kind of like Captain America was, like Steve Rogers was. And Dash, on the other hand, he would be like a third party. Like he would be the one to like reason with both of his siblings and try to bring them together so he can stop the bigger threat and not be at odds with another. That I think could definitely work. Another thing I want to see in Incredibles 3 like is new characters. We definitely need some new characters. Like Violet, Daz, and Jaja could meet others, their supers who were born during the era of the superhero relocation program where they couldn't use their powers. And I think Violet will meet someone that who also grew up in the era where they couldn't use their powers because the superheroes went under. But the main thing we need to take from Incredibles those 3 is that it has to take place years after the second film, where superheroes have been welcomed back into society, and we still have to see how Violet, Daz, and Jack Jack can finally adapt to a new superhero society, since supers have been brought back into society. And as for Mr. Incredible, Elastigirl, and Earl, yeah, we should definitely see the parents like take a back seat for once and have their kids have the spotlight. Like we can see Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl being retired and just living normal lives like away from Unicenberg. And yeah, Frozen, he would obviously be retired, and he would also be living his life with his wife Honey. But and Rick Dicker, he would obviously be retired since Rick is already old, so we should have him like have his position isn't in the National Supers Agency be taken over by someone else, which I think that should go to Mirage. Like, yeah, Mirage, she should definitely return and have some role in the third film. But yeah, we already know Elizabeth Pena, who voiced Mirage, passed away in 2013. So I definitely think Brad Bird and others are gonna have to find a new voice for Mirage. But should the other supers from the second film return, like Void, Electrix, or Reflux? Well, I don't know, but well, I don't mind them having cameos, but Void, if Void is the only one that returns in the third film, I would like that. I mean, I did like Sophia Bush's performance as Void, so Void having somewhat of a role in the third film could work, and I could definitely see her and Violet developing some sort of friendship, considering, yeah, Void is a super fan of Elastigirl, so I wouldn't mind Void having some sort of friendship with Violet, and she would be the one who like taught the Dash and tell him everything that was going on with the government. Now Jack Jack, we all know Jack Jack when his various amount of powers were shown off in the second film, he would be like super overpowered. But should we make Jack Jack that super overpowered with him growing up and having all those powers? Yeah, I don't think Brad Bird's gonna do that with Jack Jack, considering, yeah, he is the wild card of the family, so I do think Brad Bird is only gonna have Jack have only like four of his only four of his powers, like him igniting himself on fire, and I think also keeping his laser eyes. Yeah, he's gonna keep that. Yeah, I think instead of having four of the powers, I think Jack will be keeping five of his powers, like his laser eyes. Yeah, he's keeping those. I want him to keep those. His devil form. Yeah, please keep that. Him igniting on fire and also transforming into a metallic statue. Yeah, so his laser eyes turning into fire, his devil form, and his metal form and his laser eyes. Yeah, I think Jack will definitely have those five powers. So, yeah, and yeah, Jack. I still want Jack to be the wild card in the third film. And I've seen a lot of other videos where people are saying Jack should be the villain, and he should fight against his family. Though that is interesting, and I like that concept, but I would rather Jack like still be with his family and they fight against this new they fight together as a family like they always do. So yeah, regarding the villain, should we have like the government be the villain? Like have this one super that did illegal experiments on and transform into a mutated super that can steal the power of other supers? Could we go with that route, or should we go with a brand new villain? Either way, I do think those two things could work, but I think a new villain for Incredibles 3 should work. And yeah, Matthew also gave me this, like, we can have Jaja come in and during the third and final act, like, backing up his siblings, and they take on this new villain together. And, and, yeah, that could work. Now, another thing I want to see is this. Another thing I want is this. Violet, Daz, and Jack need their own super suits if we're gonna have a time skip. Like yeah, I do love the iconic red and black suits, but Violet and Dash and Jack need their own super suits. Like we could definitely have they can definitely go to Edna and have them make their own suits. And yeah, Violet would have her own suit, Dash would have his own suit, and Jack would have his own suit. Yeah, that's the number one thing I want to see. The kids having their very own super suits. And another thing I want to see is if if we if the park kids do get a time skip, I think Spencer Fox should be brought back as the voice of Dash, since he's all grown up now, and Dash had to get a new voice, which is Huckleberry Milner, who voiced Dash in the second film. But now, I think Spencer Fox should be brought back to voice an older Dash. I mean, Sarah Vowell, she could still voice Violet, and Eli Facile, he was a baby when the first Incredibles drops, and I think as of right now he's all grown up, and we already know in the second film Jack had to be given had his original voice lines, his recycled voice lines for the second film, since he was still a baby in the second film. So who knows? I think maybe they may give Jack a new voice. So I do think it could work. Having Spencer Fox voice an older Dash and Sarah Vowell, she could still voice Violet. We don't need to change that. And Craig T. Nelson should still return as Mr. Incredible, and Holly Hunter, we need her back as Elastigirl, and Samuel L. Jackson, we need him back as Frozone. And Sophia Bush, we could definitely have her back as Void if she's just is the only one going to be in the third film. So that's pretty much how I think Incredibles 3 should play out. We could definitely add some elements from Captain America: Civil War, or maybe some elements from the X-Men, but we don't really know what the plot of the third movie is going to be in whatever Brad Bird is cooking. But whatever it is, I'm sure it's gonna be good. Whether or not me, Matthew, or Jeffrey's ideas will get in there, which I don't think won't be a coincidence. Which it probably won't, but I do it think what I listed could work. And yes, in conclusion, the Power Kids should definitely take the spotlight in the third film, because I really think the third Incredibles should focus on the next generation, and Violet being the one to lead the next generation of supers could definitely work. Considering now we know, for example, My Hero Academia, Deku and the rest of Class 1A, they're going to be the next generation of heroes. So having Violet be the one to lead the next generation could work in the third film. So, guys, that's all my thoughts and my pitch on how Incredibles 3 should play out when it releases. But whatever Brad Bird comes up with, I'm gonna be all for it. But I really hope he ages up the characters and give them all a time skip, just like how Riley from Inside Out got aged up in Inside Out 2. I really hope Violet Dash and Jack Jack get a time skip and get all grown up. So, guys, that's all my thoughts on thoughts. Alright, now I want to hear from you guys. How do you think Incredibles 3 should play out? Oh, leave your comments down below and let's get the discussion going. So with that, this is Lord Hondoku signing off, and remember, always be a better you. See ya!